You have 120 franchises that are sold, not open. How do we plan on opening all those?
We're building a team. We have a 5-year vision. We have a 5-year plan. We have a 5-year financial plan and infrastructure plan. So we've already mapped that out. The way I've brought this team together, built this team, is it's 50% on the preschool side. So, all those, Allison Chomos, our CEO, has been here for 24 years. Lisa Bricker, our chief talent officer, has been here 20 years. So all those folks that have been on the preschool side, I've taken all that talent, those regional directors, the CEO, and I'm just moving them over to support our franchise partners and then backfilling them with really good people. So our franchise partners are getting, folks and key executives of 24, 20 years of experience in the industry, the preschool industry, that they're looking to be a part of. They're not looking to be a part of the franchise industry. They're
Right.
looking to be a part of the preschool industry. And that's something that we can all really relate to. So when they come here to celebrate for, let's say, a Meet the Team Day, they feel that same exact passion and purpose that they're looking for. Not the purpose of franchising, not the purpose of awarding, but the purpose of getting and having a really successful preschool that's making an impact on a community. And that's really why they're looking at this opportunity.
It sounds like you have a really special culture at your company.
Well, and I think to your earlier comments, the culture has been established through those early years of building out the 26 corporate locations. And that's
Sure.
why I could say in our hearts of hearts, we're preschool providers. That's what we do. And we've taken that culture and that passion, and we've just brought it over and basically breathed that into our franchise partners.
Well, again, you've done something that not a lot of people have been able to accomplish, and you've done it. So that is phenomenal. That really is.
And with that said, I don't know how else you could do it, right? Like, you got to have all that experience
Yeah.
in order to have the team have the team ready to go, write all the policies, all the manual books, all the support, how a true Celebrate School needs to be operated. And then lastly on that, the Huffman family is self-funding this entire venture. We have no outside investors or PE or any outside capital. This is all being done from the Huffman family and the profits from the 26 corporate locations.
The obvious answer to this question, is this a legacy business for you? Obviously, it is a legacy business for you.
Totally.
Do you see yourself doing this for the long haul? Do you see yourself getting involved in having private equity and taking chips off the table? What are some of your aspirations?
We're continuing. Earlier this year, we formed a company called the Huffman Family Brands. So right now we're just talking, we're companies, and we have, key executives that are running those companies, and we have shared services here at the Huffman Family Brand. So we're kind of in between, a company and a family office. We're kind of
Sure.
in between both of those with those shared services. But that's a part of our mission too, is to coach and develop and elevate people. And that's how we're doing it, through these multiple brands, giving we just on Celebrate, just on the Huffman Family Brands, we have around 1,300 employees. And that doesn't even include our franchise partners, of course, because they're not our employees. But
Sure.
I say that because through these multiple brands, there's multiple opportunities for growth and people to really discover their talent and bring value to these companies.
Speaking of growth and personal development, I understand we share a common inspiration in Tony Robbins.
Yes, we do.
So
Yeah.
share through what's been your Tony experience.
I think, well, I went to one of Tony's first events. I believe I'm 24 years old, and went by myself. I was scared to death. My parents said, "Where are you going? And what are you doing?" I think I probably, like a lot of people back then, I think I probably saw Tony Robbins late night, started buying his cassette tapes and
Yes.
listening to Personal Power. And I was hooked. I think when people describe Tony Robbins as a motivational speaker, I think those that really understand Tony, totally disagree with that. Can he motivate you? Yes. But the motivation comes through the understanding of how the brain and actually human behavior. And once you start to really understand that and why you do things the way you do them, or why you see things the way you see them, man, it's powerful, and it can really change lives. So went to my first conference in 2024. I might have been a leadership conference. I've gone to the wealth conference. I'm just, as Tony would say, I'm just a lifetime learner. I love to learn, love to read. I love to just soak up knowledge so we can continue and grow and prosper.
Richard, so what year was the first Tony event you went to, you think?
I believe it's somewhere around 1994. And just like the majority of us, I think I probably saw, watching late night TV, and saw him on there selling Personal Power and his cassette tapes and books. So I was a believer from a very early age.
So was this the Firewalk event, UPW?
I did Firewalk. Did you?
So you, of course, I've done it many times. So you did UPW then? Yes.
Yes, I did that.
What's been the biggest impact that Tony's had on your career and life?
Oh my God. It just, Frank, it goes on and on and on and on, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm still a big fan. I just got done reading his latest book, The Holy Grail of Investing. So, as you mature and as you develop and as you seek,
right,
there's just so much knowledge that Tony has to share. Again, it just continues. I'm still a huge fan of his.
Yeah, he's had a huge impact on my life. All right, enough with Tony, because we could talk about Tony for an hour, I'm sure. I want to get back to franchising. So since you've only been franchising since 2019, what's been what's maybe been the biggest surprise since you franchised 5 years ago?
Oh, in the very beginning, I thought that, everybody's gonna want to be a part of this. Because I'm so used to the preschool business. I mean, sure. Right now in our preschool business, we enroll 8 out of 10 families that inquire. So that's a pretty good conversion rate or close rate. That's 80%. That's a little bit different. I mean, sure. It's like 2 out of 200.
Right.
So that was something that was very shocking to me. But the more we got into it, the more I understand. So that was a little shocking, those numbers, 2 out of 200. But the one thing that I underestimated, and just I'm so blessed and excited to be a part of, is these relationships with these franchise partners. I think it's a good analogy. When we're being in the preschool business and you have a family come to visit your school, they're uncertain, they're scared, mm-hmm. they're nervous, and they need to trust you with their most important asset, which is their little one. Franchising is almost the same thing, right? They're inquiring, they're scared, they're nervous. For most of our franchise partners, this is their entire life savings, if not a big portion of it. And so we really have to walk them through that journey to make sure that they fully understand what it's going to take to be a Celebrate franchise partner, the processes, the team that we have in place to really support them and get them to a place where they are fully committed to this endeavor and this partnership that we're about to join into.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.